Infrastructure is a big part of that. Skills, education, the things which build an economy are the things which make everybody in that economy have opportunities. That makes them productive. That builds a bigger economy. It's that simple. Britain has always, been obviously geographically a limited amount of space. What's been the difference for Britain in the past are our people, and that's the difference that we can have again if we bring this all together.
Now, you said that there'd be 96 billion in terms of infrastructure, in terms of railway infrastructure spending, but that northern leg of HS2, that's not going ahead.
So 96 billion is just the rail investment, and that's only the rail investment in the Midlands and North. There's other rail investment, there's other road investment, and much else besides. So this is an enormous sum of money. No government since Victorian times have done anything on this scale. And you talk about what's happening in the North. Manchester, for example, will have not one but two high-speed lines because of HS2 coming in from the south, and then a west-east line from Warrington, Manchester over to Yorkshire. So there is huge and ambitious plans. You'll be able to travel from Manchester to Leeds in just over 30 minutes. At the moment, that journey is probably 55 minutes. Liverpool to London, cut by 40 minutes. So this is massive investment. Don't listen to those people who say, 96 billion's crumbs off the table. That's an actual quote from a Labour mayor. I mean, 96 billion pounds. That's what they think crumbs is? Goodness help us.
No one's doubting there's significant investments and improvements going ahead. Was it wrong, therefore, to speak about even more improvements beforehand that had to be scaled back a little bit?
Well, no, first of all, I just wanted to tackle the idea that we're not delivering on what we said we were going to do. We're going to have a high-speed kind of system that will run from London to the northwest. It will also cut a lot of time off journeys along the east coast and for example, to Leeds, up to Scotland. So we're going to deliver, and we're going to deliver it in the biggest way any government has ever done. We're still going to run HS2 trains to Leeds, for example. I keep reading that we're not. That's not true. We said we are. We're about to undertake a study to get them there. So HS2 trains going up the eastern leg to Leeds as well.
Now, moving on to the passenger locator form, you spoke in quite an ideological way about how you hated the sort of paperwork, papers, please society. That's been abolished this morning. Can you guarantee it will never come back?
4 a.m. this morning. I should have woken up. I have to confess I was asleep. I should have woken up to celebrate the moment. I hated that form. Asking people, where are you going to come when you get home? When will you be leaving your home when you get home? These are things which are normally no business of the state, and I really never want us to have to go back to that situation. I don't know what will happen with coronavirus or viruses in the future, but I hope the enthusiasm with which I've scrapped it and the government's scrapped this form indicates it's not in our hearts to go there if we can possibly ever avoid it.
Now, one of the biggest round of applause for you came from your condemnation of the owners of P&O, their pre-recorded Zoom message, that mass sacking. Was your problem with the way it was done, or the fact that a company is restructuring at all?
Well, we understand that companies have to make money, otherwise they can't be in business. I mean, no problem with companies making a profit. And we understand that they may have to make changes. You do not treat your staff in that way. Pre-recorded, 30 minutes notice on a Zoom to tell you you've lost your job, in many cases of decades, people who've been working for P&O ferries. So yes, it's partly the way in which it's done. Mainly, they've got to sit down. Right? In my constituency, I happen to have some of the supermarkets headquartered, the HQs, and sometimes they have to pull back depending on market conditions. They sit down. They consult with the employees. They understand and assist them into new roles. I've seen none of that from P&O. I think the management of P&O ferries have taken really two of the proudest initials in maritime history, P and O, and turned it into P off.
Should the government step in to make it right?
Well, there are laws in place to deal with these sort of things. So we're, first of all, I know the unions, I know the workers, and P&O are making sure that the laws have been followed, number one. Number two, I want to still see I think that P&O ferry management can still rescue this situation. They can get around the table and talk to those individuals, and I want to see them do that. And number three, I'm asking my officials to identify, for example, whether we have government contracts with P&O ferries. I don't know the answer to that yet, which could be looked at in the light of all of this. So I think this is a long way to run yet, and I want to see those workers who have given their lives in many cases to P&O ferries properly rewarded. And one final thing, my phone has been ringing with offers from blue chip company bosses, I mean names that everyone knows, who want to employ those people. So they won't be out of work for long, that's for sure.
Well, Grant Shapps, thank you for joining us here on GB News.
Thanks, Tom.